Big news coming out of both Fargo and Grand Forks this morning. North Dakota State and the University of North Dakota will renew their football rivalry starting in 2015 with the second game to be played in 2019. Joined now by North Dakota State Director of Broadcasting and Head of Scheduling, Jeremy Jorgenson. And Jeremy, I know this is a long time coming and a lot of people are excited to have this game finally back on with these two teams.
No, I think you're right, Jamal. It's a long time coming. It took a while. This was a long negotiation over several years. Several offers were on the table, and to have it done helps us all in the scheduling process. There needed to be some finality to this, and it needed to happen now prior to this season, so it's good to be done.
What are the nitty-gritty details? I know there's a game, both games be played in the Fargo Dome, 2015, 2019. I know there were some financial details, ticket allotments and things of that sort. What were the details behind this deal?
Well, I think, a lot of people will talk about the separation with 15 and 19. That was key for us because 19 is the first 12-game season. This year's a 12-game. There's not another one until 19 where you can play 12 games in a season, so that gave us some flexibility for a second game. Also helps us, gives us a leg up on 2019. But I think important for us, too, that both games were in Fargo. Right now we have Montana, Eastern Washington, Weber State as home and homes. You can't schedule too many home and homes or the back end of the road commitments gets to be too much. So this helps us in that regard, having both games in Fargo, having some separation, helping us fill 19 a little bit.
I know that the Fargo Dome's a little bit bigger than the Alaris Center and it can hold more fans. Is that one of the driving factors in making sure you got this game at the Fargo Dome, or just you needed another home game on the schedule?
No, I think it was more a business decision, scheduling decision. I don't think, the size of arenas played into it at all. I really think it boiled down for us to business and scheduling.
When did the negotiations really start picking up? I think I heard you say earlier they started back in 2010.
Yep. And
what were some of the difficulties that you encountered along the road?
Well, scheduling is tough. Matching dates up is always hard. Just getting everyone on the same page. Each institution has different needs. Each institution has different dates or scheduling philosophies. When you're not in the same conference with somebody, and when there's a lot of 11-game years in there, which allows you only 3 non-conference games per year, it's hard to match up dates. So that was one of the biggest hurdles.
This game hasn't been played since 2003, and I know you've heard loudly from both camps, those saying we don't want this game, we do want this game. I know there's a lot of passion in this state and community for this game. Ultimately, what came down to making sure you got this done?
Well, and to that I would say we didn't feel pressure to play the game, from our fans or from anybody else for that matter. We understand that this is a volatile subject, that everyone has an opinion about it. But I think when you really dissect it, look at the guarantees, the business side of it, the scheduling side of it, it all kind of rolls into a nice little package.
You also said that this wrapped up officially a couple of days ago. How hard was it not to come out with it then and say something when you knew it was a done deal?
Well, there were lots of details involved, so I would say the final details weren't ironed out until, potentially 24 hours ago. Throughout the course of this week, there was lots of talk, of course. There's lots of details in this contract. I do lots of game contracts. This one has way more details than the average one. We're talking tickets and band and cheer teams and parking passes, and usually that just kind of gets decided outside the contract.
I know UND has the option to bring their band and their cheer team into the 2015 and 19, both games?
Yeah.
Both games, along with a 500 ticket allotment. You mentioned that type of change. Are those just the things that kept negotiations going for a long time because you had to get the minor things right?
Yeah, usually in a game contract we have about 200 tickets in for an opponent. So 500 is a different deal. Our tickets are tight. So that was a big part of the negotiation. And the bands and stuff, that all worked itself out pretty quick.
Gotcha. Well, Jeremy, I thank you very much for joining us. I know it's a game that a lot of people are going to look forward to in the near future. UND and NDSU set to play each other starting in 2015 with a follow-up game in 2019. Both of those games will be played at the Fargo Dome, and I'm sure it'll be packed for that one.